Student number 210359. Name, Damian Roberts. Project, Unit 8, Collaborative Project. Hopwood Hall Fringe Festival 2018, Level 3, Year 1.
Where did it all start?
It all starts when we were given the opportunity to pick our groups for this year's Fringe Festival. In my group had Connor Thompson, we had Jacob Cook, and we had Curtis Dipple, and myself, Damian Roberts. So we wanted to do something that we all enjoyed, and we wanted to do something that was original and new.
What were your ideas and intentions?
Our ideas and intentions was to do something different, something that hadn't actually been done before.
What research did you use for it?
Research-wise, I researched loads of different sketches for the TARDIS console. I researched the actual pictures of the TARDIS console that have been decommissioned and not used anymore, just for ideas. I looked at character research. I researched like every companion ever, because I wanted to get as much detail as possible so I can make my character as strong as I possibly could. Because my strong point isn't acting, but I enjoyed this performance.
Did you use any artists, designers or practitioners to gain inspiration?
Nope.
Right. How effective was your research in terms of depth, relevance and variety?
My research was really helpful, especially with the character research. As I say, it helped me develop my characters to make it as strong as it possibly could be, and as strong as I could make it personally. I pushed myself as far as I possibly could to make sure my character was as strong as possible on stage, and it stood up against the other good actors who were on stage with me.
Describe the part of your research that became most relevant and explain why.
I think the character research was the most relevant because it's the stuff that helped me out the most to make my performance the strongest.
How did tutors and peers provide influence for your early ideas?
To start off with, we all sat around in our circles and thought of our individual own ideas, and then we picked groups from them. And if we didn't have an idea, we could pick a group that we wanted to join in with. So I joined in with Jacob Cook because it was his original idea to do this Doctor Who thing. Because his idea was he wanted to do a live on stage regeneration, which I think was really successful ultimately.
Did your planning cover all eventualities?
It did, yes, besides a couple of technical flaws that happened on the night, which I'll get into. I'll get onto shortly.
Did you manage to complete your project objectives? If you did, could you have gone further with the concept or idea? If wrong, what went wrong?
If we would have had more time, we could have gone further with the idea. But one of the most important things, which was a big bugbear to a lot of us on the cast, is the companion is primarily a female, not a male. So obviously, me being a companion, I was doing something that isn't generally done anywhere on TV, let alone doing it on stage. So I felt out of my comfort zone already. Although I did stick with it, I did keep on trying and pushing myself to try different things I hadn't done before.
How did your ideas change, and what influenced you to change?
My ideas... Sorry, can you repeat that question, please?
Oh, yeah, sure. How did your ideas change, and what influenced you to change?
Our ideas didn't really change. The base idea of doing a Doctor Who with a live regeneration always stayed the same. We added little bits on, like we had to have an action nemesis to make the Doctor regenerate so we can make the performance actually last for 20 minutes. Because the original idea would have only lasted about 5 or 10 minutes at max, unless Jacob would have done the stage move on and just done a 20-minute monologue, which I don't think would have been very fun for him or anybody else there. So we made the inclusion of the Master, who was the action nemesis. We made the inclusion of having multiple different scenes, including the fall of the Master, and that's about that.
Were there any technical or logistical issues?
There was a lot of issues with the curtains, because basically, for this scene change, that was to take the TARDIS on and off stage, leaves the back curtain, and on the night it kept on getting stuck. So it was making our life really, really hard to try and make it look smooth. Because we'd have someone, I think it was Curtis did it most of the time, it was someone said you'd grab the curtain and run with it, but a lot of the time it'd get stuck, so then TARDIS would have been half on, half off for seeing when we're not even meant to be in the TARDIS. It looked really, really messy.
Did you have enough time to design and make or source any props, costume and set?
Just about. A lot of the credit for the prop does go to Connor Thompson for that, because he did a lot of work. As much as I tried to lend a helping hand to help out, he did a lot of the hard work for it. Where I was more of a practical person instead of doing the props and stuff. But that's Connor Thompson's strong point. So I thought if he wants to be left alone to do it, we'll leave him alone to do it, which was his opinion most of the time.
The outcome of the final piece. What was the effectiveness, technical qualities, aesthetic qualities, and fitness of the purpose of communication?
Can you repeat that, please?
Oh yeah, sure. The outcome in terms of the effectiveness, the technical qualities, aesthetic qualities, fitness for the purpose of communication in the final piece.
Basically, that means. Where is it?
How did it portray to the audience?
Right, discuss the outcome in terms of effectiveness. We'll just do that one first.
It was really effective. I mean, I think people who hadn't seen Doctor Who had a basic understanding of Doctor Who going out of the show. People who hadn't watched it already. For the people who did watch it, I think it was kind of, I don't know, there was probably some technical flaws that we didn't really think about in our dialogue and stuff like that, but I think for the best part it did come across very, very well to the audience that were watching, and I hope that they did enjoy it.
Okay. What about aesthetic qualities, which basically means like lighting, like props, like what do you think?
Aesthetically, I think it was pretty strong. The TARDIS was nice. It had the right height, so it wasn't like one of our actors was taller than the TARDIS. It was just the right size for it. And the lighting, I think it went really, really well. The sound could have been a little bit better. That's because we didn't have much time to go on tech cues and that. But overall, I think it went pretty well.
So do you think you communicated sort of the theme of Doctor Who across the audience, do you think?
I'd like to think that we did. Obviously, if we could go back and do it again, there's things that we could have changed to make it more accurate. Like, as I say, we could have had a female companion. We could have had... There's multiple little things that we could have had that would have made the performance better, I think, personally. And I think that's mutually agreed with the entire... Everyone on my cast would agree that. But I think overall, we did the best we could with what we had.
Does it meet the criteria that you set for yourself?
I think it does meet the criteria that we set ourselves, because for this I really wanted to push my acting. I wanted to showcase what I've learned this year, because I've not really done much dancing stuff this year, because dancing is my strong point, but I haven't done that much dancing stuff this year. I've done more acting stuff, and I've made sure to do it so I can push myself more to do stuff that I'm not necessarily confident with.
How did you respond to the feedback that you had received, the positives and the negatives?
I think I've responded better than what I have in the past with feedback, because normally I'll sort of just brush it off and put it under the carpet and forget about it, but I think this time I did actually push myself to work on the feedback.
Does the final piece communicate the concept and idea that you had intended?
I think it does, yes.
How committed were you to getting strong results?
Me and the entire group were really committed. I mean, every single time we had in the performance space, we were working, we didn't stop, we were constantly doing this, that and the other, we were always doing something. Without fail, we didn't take advantage of the breaks that much, because we just wanted to get the work done. We wanted it to be a really strong performance. And I think as a group it really did work. We had a lot of people who were like taskmasters. They want everything to be done perfectly. Me myself being a perfectionist, I like everything to be done to the T. I don't like any mistakes. I like everything to be as perfect as possible.
How did you use your increasing knowledge base to help move forward with your ideas and predict new areas for future exploration?
But can you repeat that, please?
Yeah, sure. How did you use your increasing knowledge to help you move forward with your ideas?
I think I don't know. Let me have a look at the question.
Oh yeah, sure. Here you go.
How would you use your knowledge to
What was the question? Rainbow?
I did use my increasing knowledge base because I wanted to, as I say, I wanted to showcase everything that I've learned this year and then use tricks that I was learning along the process from the people who were on stage with me, because everyone else who was on stage with me was a stronger actor than they are a dancer. I was the only one that was really out of his comfort zone doing acting, whereas everyone else on the stage could do that acting and dancing, whereas I struggled with doing acting. But I think overall, I did pretty well with what I was given and the time that we had to put it together.
Given the opportunity to repeat this project, what would you have done differently?
As I say, female companion, I would have played another enemy or something. We could have had, I don't know, we could have had 2 aliens or some sort, but I do think it should have definitely been a female companion instead of me playing a male companion. I don't think it worked properly personally. I think it would have worked a lot better if we would have had, a female companion there and more aliens to take down the Doctor, and maybe extend it more by having a more substantial plotline with more of a defeat for the Doctor instead of going first scene, death, regeneration, next scene, bang, end. I think it would have worked more if we would have had more of a plot there to it. I think it would have worked a lot better.
What did you gain from this experience?
Overall, I think I've gained a lot more. I feel a lot more confident being on stage acting now. Whereas, say in the past, I've only ever been a dancer. I think overall, I've improved a lot as an actor this year. Overall, in general, anyway. Live on this last performance where I was literally focusing directly on acting. Thank you.